Hi, this is Mike, and today we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, and this is a long trade for the D wave. The small D wave, if you've seen my previous video, you'll know what I mean by that. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below in related ideas. It gives you the bigger picture view since the Great Depression and goes into detail as to what to expect moving forward. Now, I had another look at the count for this market. I hadn't had a good look at it for a while, but when markets have completed a certain five-wave move, it's a little bit easier to sort of make some kind of analysis possible for a long trade with RS wave. So what this means is that the A wave really did go the full length. It didn't go halfway. It didn't create some weird pattern, but it did pull back in a very weak manner. So even though we saw catastrophes in the market, it actually for some strange reason is looking like 38, like 40% correction basically from the highs. Previous fourth wave of wave 3 is a good one for me. I like that particular level for a pullback, and also you've got the previous high as support as well, right? So there's a couple of pieces of information to suggest that yes, we do have support there. But what gets more interesting is when you take a look at the subdivisions of these waves. Very interesting. I'll show you as I zoom in. So from the highs, I detected wave A being the whole move down, basically. A, B, C. Right, I pulled apart the waves in many different ways. This is the only way that really made sense. And so the largest move down was a zigzag. Probably gave people the feeling that maybe we were going to move lower, but that would have happened back in October if that was the case. Looks like an A. But what gets even more interesting is what happens at the small degree. You start to see a small b, c, d, and e, hence why I've got a setup here. Now, normally I wouldn't think that this would be even possible, but considering that these waves became smaller and subdivided into sort of like a upward movement, I'm quite satisfied with this particular view, and I'll explain why as I go in a bit closer. So we figured out the A wave, which gives us more clues as to what this is. So it looks like we had a B wave up with a C wave down, very small C wave, right? And then a D wave, right? So if you want to say, oh, is this a 5-wave move? Well, I don't see how that can be possible when you've got 5-wave move there, 5-wave move there, 5-wave move there, and potentially a 5-wave move there, right? Now, in saying that, yes, it does look a bit strange, but it's even stranger if you try to make this a 5-wave move, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what's this? Could it be A, B, C, D? No, that's a 3-wave move there. It can't be a D. So, I mean, you've got a few things there saying that it's not that, but the beauty of it all is that it's actually created a small wave E opportunity for a long position, which will take us pretty high. I'll tell you the target in a moment. But this entry is basically almost about to begin, right? We just need to cross over this dashed line at the highs here at around 34,756 with a stop at 32,569. So such a small range. It's actually quite amazing to see such a small area, um, you know, in such a large market that can be used to trade this in a potential massive move. So let me go back to the 4-hour chart. Well, actually, we'll go to the daily, and I'll explain to you the target. So you take a length of wave A from the end of wave B, so A in brackets, I mean, from the end of wave B, and you measure the distance up. And here we've got 66,000 on the Dow. Now, sure, that might be lower, but I tend to measure from the end of wave B. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, you could measure from this low here. But as we sort of track the waves, we'll have more of an idea of what's going on with that. But that's a pretty big move, right? And I don't know, in terms of time, taking the same length of time that it took to create the A in brackets, that would suggest that this might finish at the end of next year, basically. So how long will this go for is an interesting question. Will this move up be even stronger than the first one and complete by the end of 2023? I don't know. I really don't know. There's not something you can really guess, or, you can try and calculate it by doing what I just did, but is it really accurate? We don't know. Is this setup accurate? I don't know. It's a probabilities game. It's not a certainties game, which is why you have risk management, right? So look, I know it's a shallow correction, but it looks like there's some support. I can see a full count, A, B, C, D, E, using RS wave. What can I say? RS wave is different than Elliott wave. If you were an Elliottician, you might have thought this is a triple zigzag, and you may have a similar idea, but you wouldn't be getting A, B, C's at the top there. That just doesn't make any sense. So that's why I don't use Elliott wave. And obviously that's the reason why I created RS wave. But yeah, check out the bigger picture video. That one's really cool. But just to sort of, go back a step and just have a look at the bigger picture for a quick moment, right? The D wave is already expanding, but the D wave within the D wave is expanding, but now the D wave within that D wave is expanding. Is there any end to the madness, really? Right? Is there any end to the madness? Right? I don't know. I just look at the patterns and I go, well, this looks like the probable path, so let's try. I mean, trading a wave C is definitely easier than trading the wave A. And if this is the entry point that we're looking for, I suppose we'll find out, won't we? But using the method that I use, yeah, look, that's an E wave there. Resistance, confirmation at the highs. We look like we have some kind of 1, 2, 1, 2 pattern maybe. It might start creating a weak 5 wave move as it sort of begins. That sort of does a bit of like ABC1, correction, ABC for 3, correction, and ABC 5, correction, etc., etc., etc. Like, it's just interesting. I just find it really interesting the way this is looking right now. So I thought I'd share that with you real quick. I'll call this a long trade, I suppose, because I've got the areas marked out. But yeah, hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.